How does LGBTQ plus acceptance harm more young Americans than gun violence and healthcare costs?
So, define harm. What does harm mean to you?
To me, harm would mean reducing quality of life or ending the life.
Okay, so the word of harm, it doesn't have to necessarily mean physically. You
No, of
can harm
course not.
somebody by spiritually, mentally, and all of
Agreed.
above. Right. So when we
And what we
go,
see is that when we support and affirm LGBTQ plus acceptance, depression rates, anxiety rates, and suicidality rates go down significantly. 60% is the rate of change in suicidality rates when we see LGBTQ plus people being accepted.
well, why you if it's
So,
not
so here, let's break it down because I understand that this would be horrible and it's very scary and the talking point gets out there a lot and it's very confusing. What's happening is that LGBTQ plus young people experience higher rates of depression, anxiety, and suicidality
mhm,
because of the way they're treated in society. And that's a
mhm,
medical fact that's been studied for years. What we see is that when there is more queer and trans representation, more
mhm,
queer and trans discussion,
yeah,
and more queer and trans affirmation,
mhm,
that those suicide rates, depression rates, and anxiety rates go down. And so if it was innate within the queer and trans identity to be depressed and anxious, the more queer and trans discussion there were, the more queer trans people there were, the more that we would see anxiety, depression, and suicidality. Instead, what we see is that it is only when we accept, affirm, and educate about LGBTQ plus identities that these rates go down, because it's not a symptom of being queer and trans, it's a symptom of hatred, it's a symptom of anti-LGBTQ plus policy, which is harming young Americans.
yeah. No, I agree.
Teaching about LGBTQ plus identities saves lives.
I
It
would
reduces anxiety and depression. When
Sure.
trans people receive gender affirming care or have access to affirming environments, we see suicide rates go down, anxiety go down, depression go down.